I'm not a member of any party, haven't been for more than 10 years, but I got to tell you, I am very engrossed by the Conservative Party leadership race. I wasn't the last time round when Erin O'Toole slouched across the finish line, and I didn't even find it interesting that much when Andrew Scheer squeaked by Maxime Bernier to take the party over. But this time it feels different because there's a genuine choice there, a strong clash of opinions. I think it's great. And I think we saw this in not last night's leadership debates, but the ones very recently held not by the party itself, but by Preston Manning's old think tank. The moderators were our friends Candice Malcolm of True North and Jamil Javani. I want to show you a few excerpts from them. It was a brawl. It was a rollicking debate, and that's the whole point of debates. Show a clash of ideas. Show the clear choices. Here are some clips from that debate.
I'm going to begin with you, Mr. Poilievre, and I want to start with the trucker convoy, something we've already been discussing. You've been criticized for your support for the trucker convoy. One of your fellow candidates has even said you should be disqualified for leadership of the party based on your engagement with the convoy. As we all know, public opinion on the trucker convoy is sharply divided. The Trudeau government and the mainstream media have gone to great lengths to vilify the truckers. And back in February, you said that you were, quote, proud of them.
That's right.
Has your opinion on the trucker convoy changed since? And is your support of the truckers a liability moving forward?
No and no. My position has not changed. I said at the very outset before they even arrived that I simultaneously stood with the law-abiding and peaceful truckers who were fighting for their livelihoods and liberties while condemning any individual who breaks the law, blocks critical infrastructure, or behaves badly. That is the position I took then. It's the position I take now. Now, Mr. Charest learned about the trucker convoy on CBC, like other Liberals, and he misrepresented them. He believes that I should be censored. He believes I should be cancelled from this leadership race and disqualified, in his words, because I don't share his Liberal viewpoint. That is the kind of cancel culture and censorship you would expect from Justin Trudeau, but instead we're getting it from this Liberal on this stage. And frankly, Mr. Charest, for you to talk about law and order is a little bit rich, given that your party, your Liberal Party, took $500,000 of illegal donations when you were the head of that party. The average trucker has more integrity in his pinky finger than you had in your entire scandal-plagued Liberal cabinet. So I do stand up for the freedoms of Canadians, and I acknowledge that the working class has been demolished in this country over the last couple of years. We don't need elites who've been able to rely on special contracts with Huawei to look down on them and call them criminals. Instead, we need to stand up for the people who are struggling and give them hope for the future, and that's what I will do.
Next to you, Mr. Charest. You led a Liberal government in Quebec, and your record as Premier includes raising taxes and introducing a cap-and-trade program. Many Conservatives don't connect with you, and frankly, some are wondering why you're running for leader of this party. So I'm wondering if you can set the record straight. Are you a Conservative?
Thank you very much. And Roman, thank you for your comments. And Leslyn, I have a deep respect for the position that you hold on the issue of abortion. And I want to say a word about social conservatives tonight, because we may not agree on all issues, but who are the people who call themselves social conservatives? And I'm not a hyphenated conservative. But who are they if not people who have a faith-based life, believe in their families and their communities? Sounds like pretty good people to me. And they are part of our family, and they will always be part of our family, and they need to be respected. Now, in this room tonight is Preston Manning, who called before this debate that we act respectfully in a view of uniting the party after the leadership race. Well, so much for that, Pierre. In this race, I stand with a record as a Conservative all my life. I'll give you an example, Candice. I believe in fiscal conservatism. The Liberal government that succeeded me, Mr. Couillard, that followed, left an $8 billion surplus after 15 years to Mr. Legault, $8 billion. You're not going to see that in your lifetime again. A higher credit rating in Quebec than Ontario. We reduce taxes. In fact, I reduced taxes in 2007-8, income taxes for middle-class, lower-income Quebecers, which actually allowed Quebecers to do better than Canada, the United States, or Europe, or Ontario during the Great Recession. The credit rating agency says one of the key decisions for us having a better performance, more jobs, more economic growth, was the fact that I reduced taxes, which was opposed by this person here, Pierre Poilievre. He was opposed to it back then. So enough of the hypocrisy. And on the Hill, I agree with Scott. This mess that we witnessed is the fault of Mr. Trudeau. But Mr. Poilievre, during that period, supported an illegal blockade. You cannot make laws and break laws and then say I will make laws for other people. I'm sorry, but that is a question of basic foundation and principles in my life.
You're out of time, sir.
Thank you.
You could say it was bruising. That would be a fair term. Pierre Poilievre and Jean Charest in particular going at it. The issue, in part, one of the many issues, of course, being the truckers. Were they criminals conducting an illegal blockade, as Jean Charest said, or were they freedom fighters, as Pierre Poilievre would say? I thought it was a great debate, but the media party didn't say so. They don't like rambunctious conservatives. They don't like all this talk about freedom. They don't like any populism. They want people like Aaron O'Toole and Andrew Scheer, basically the tolerated House conservatives of the media party, of the establishment. They didn't like this much. You can see that in all the headlines. It was universally panned by everyone other than the Conservative Party members themselves, who seemed to love it. I thought it was a very clarifying debate, and congrats to Jamil Javani and Candice Malcolm for chairing it. That was an excerpt from my daily TV-style show called The Ezra Levant Show. Each weekday, I do a monologue on the news of the day. Then I interview a fascinating guest. I read some fan mail or hate mail, depends on which I like more. And we end with a video of the day. You can get it all at rebelnewsplus.com.